Hump Day on the hottest show in the streets, bringing you your Alabama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. We bring you the show as always from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you via YouTube, and speaking of the channel, you do right now, hit that subscribe button, tap subscribe right now, stop everything that you're doing. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. Raise those like levels up, tap the like button, give us a thumbs up, make this your show, your network platform channel in space to talk Tide football. Trying to get this show 50 likes out the gate to start it. That daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100. That we appreciate the support from you guys. All donations welcomed here and appreciate it. Be sure to also tap that notification bell so that way you miss nothing when it comes down to your Crimson Tide football content. We got a lot to get into here on this evening. First and foremost, shout out to my man John Ivory, celebrating his birthday on today. John having that day off, so we got my man Eli Walker as always in the production studio holding it down for John Ivory as the king on his off day on today. But 205-448-1358, the number to call in. Let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We want to hear from you. But Eli, we start the conversation off with this. Spring practice is jumping. Spring football really jumping right now. And on Friday, we got the first scrimmage of spring ball. We'll get more into that coming up here later in the show. I got my thoughts on what should we be expecting to see in the first live game action practice inside Bryant-Denny. But I want to start off with this. And you know you're big time when other people start talking about you. You know you're big time when veteran people start talking about you. And for Tommy Rees, 30 years of age, former quarterback at Notre Dame, now the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at Alabama. The players he has earned he's gotten everybody's respect fast. The players are loving him fast. He has made an impact quickly. That being one Tommy Rees. And, Bill O'Brien was good during his time in Tuscaloosa. I know Crimson Tide couldn't run the football the way it wanted to, couldn't obtain the balance it wanted to have. And I know when you bring up Bill O'Brien, a lot of people get disgusted by it, but let's be honest. O'Brien wasn't god-awful. You did get an SEC championship out of him. You did get a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, the first quarterback to ever win the Heisman Trophy in school history, and Bryce Young out of O'Brien. So it wasn't like OB was that bad. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, is Tommy Rees better suited for Alabama versus Bill O'Brien? And the reason why you have to ask the question is, people didn't really talk much about OB in terms of players. They really didn't talk much about him. When Lane Kiffin was in Tuscaloosa, Kiffin got that swag. He got that sauce. He got that juice, man, Kiffin. Like, people talked about Lane Kiffin when he was in Tuscaloosa. People talked about Steve Sarkisian 2019 and 2020 during his time in Tuscaloosa. And now you're seeing players are talking about Tommy Rees. He's just getting here. But players are talking about him. And it's one thing when you have a young player, a freshman, sophomore, talk about Tommy Rees. That's cool. But when you have top veteran players talking about you as the offensive coordinator, that holds a lot of weight. That's a big deal. When the veterans in the room are rocking with you, you're doing something right early. You're making an impact quickly. And the two veterans that are already talking up Tommy Rees, J.C. Latham and Ja'Cory Brooks. J.C. Latham did it first week of spring ball. And this is a third-year offensive lineman coming into his second year as a starter. This is a J.C. Latham, of whom he has a dominant year this fall. He will be a top pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. What did J.C. Latham say week one? Man, I love Tommy Rees, man. He got us bought into the execution. He got us bought into the organization. I love the new OC. I see big things for this offense this year. I love Tommy Rees. And that's J.C. Latham. Today, Ja'Cory Brooks, young man from South Florida, former 4-star in the 2021 class, a guy that you can make the argument the best receiver, the most consistent receiver on the team. This past year, Brooks led the team for touchdown catches with 8. Led the team yards per catch average 17.3. Had 39 catches for 674 yards. Did have a 100-plus yard receiving performance against Vanderbilt. But Ja'Cory Brooks spoke today. And what did he say about Tommy Rees? He said, man, our offensive coordinator, our offense isn't going to be that much new, but it will be a lot different. But that OC we got, man, he got some swag to him, man. He young. He can relate to us, man. He got some swag to him. He got that swag to him. Corey Brooks already saying, hey, Tommy Rees is that dude. He got that swag to him. So you got a veteran offensive lineman and J.C. Latham. Love him already. Love him already. Love what he's doing already. And now you have a veteran receiver in Ja'Cory Brooks. Tommy Rees, he got that swag to him. And keep in mind, folks, Tommy Rees' 3 years as an offensive coordinator at Notre Dame. Not only did Notre Dame run the football and have that balance using 12 personnel, but the Fighting Irish, they also had multiple receivers catch 40-plus passes. Michael Mayer, tight end, he did that. They had several other guys just throughout Tommy Rees' time that catch 40-plus passes from a wide receiver standpoint. So here he is here at Alabama, already garnering that type of respect from veterans in the room, J.C. Latham and Ja'Cory Brooks. We are about to see what he's going to do in this offense. We're about to see it firsthand what Tommy Rees is about to do in this offense. Not saying Bill O'Brien was god-awful, but we have seen when the players are given that respect to a coach in these interviews, that coach is already positioning himself to be big time. Players gave Lane Kiffin his respect week one. They knew what Kiffin was about. It different. People were giving Steve Sarkisian his respect week one. They knew what Sark was about to do. The players knew what Sark was about to do. And we're already seeing, fresh out of the gate, veteran players saying, hey, this Tommy Rees guy, love him. He got that swag. He know how we trying to operate around here. Big stuff there from Ja'Cory Brooks today, speaking on his offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees. But we take a break here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we go to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your viewpoints. We get into a conversation. Line us up, fans. We get to you right after this.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion and Ordering is easy. Visit Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
We're back rocking and rolling to the action from the break on a Wednesday hump day. Hottest show on the streets, talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. You know what time it is. Continue tapping that subscribe button. Hit subscribe right now. Get every friend, family member, everybody you know to subscribe, share the show. To everybody out there, hit the like button as well. Give us that thumbs up, raise those like levels up, show that support right here. That daily super chat to go $100 daily. Super chat to go $100 right there. Appreciate the support from all of you. But phone lines are open, 205-448-1358. Now I'm going to call in to let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. And Eli, we also got a chance to hear from Darian Dalcourt today, fifth-year offensive lineman. He said, hey, Eric Wolford's bringing that nasty back on that offensive line. Looking forward to seeing that. Running the football, pounding the opposing defense. Eric Wolford bringing back that nasty physicality with this group. I am pumped to see that unfold on the field. But we grab this call. You're live on the show. What's going on? How are you feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
What's going on, man? This is Jay from Mississippi. How you doing, man?
Doing great, and yourself?
Doing good. Roll Tide. I just called in to say, hey, man, you do a great job, and I'm going to try to make the A-Day game this year, and I'm looking forward to these wide receivers. And, I think the guy that from the junior college, Malik Benson, I think he's gonna take the top off the defense this year, and I think Tommy Rees gonna find some way to get him and a couple guys to stretch the field. What do you think?
James, I really like Malik Benson. I mean, loved him, watched him out of Hutchinson Community College in Kansas, JUCO kid, but I saw him personally myself at Alabama's pro day, catching passes from Bryce Young. The ball never hit the ground. He caught every single pass. That tells me he's got strong, reliable hands. He's got speed, smooth in his routes. But the fact of the matter is no ball touched the ground. That tells me this brother's got them hands to where you can depend on him. And that's what you need. Somebody that's got the speed, yes. The quickness, the route running ability, yes. But when I'm throwing you this ball, you better not drop it. And Malik Benson looks like the type. He ain't dropping passes.
You're right. I watched the pro day too, and I think he's going to be a great contributor to the offense. And but look, man, I'm not going to hold you, man. Thank you and for taking my call, and you have a blessed day. Roll Tide, man.
Appreciate my man James calling out of Mississippi right there on the show. And I like Malik Benson. Once again, had a great career at JUCO. Coming in to Alabama, Corey Brooks mentioned today, likes the energy that Benson brings to the table. I know he mentioned himself that he's a mixture of Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, and Jamison Williams. Can he prove accurate on that claim? We will see that, the A-Day game, and most importantly, in the coming fall. But I like Benson. I think he'll be a marquee contributor. The question will be, will he start? He's got the chance to. Because you look at Ja'Cory Brooks as a potential starter. You look at Malik Benson. I know Jermaine Burton's got to be more consistent. Isaiah Bond could be a starter. Kobe Prentice. You got so many wide receivers in this room here. I know a question in the YouTube chat line was about Jeremy Pruitt. Any new information on Pruitt? Well, right now, on the 19th through the 21st of this month, the NCAA will have the deliberation on everything that happened during Pruitt's time at Tennessee as the head coach. So April 19th through the 21st, we will hear the final word here from the NCAA about that whole situation. Now, of course, nothing has changed from what I've been told about Pruitt coming in as a defensive analyst for Alabama. Nothing of that has been changed. So he's still expected to arrive as an analyst sometime either on August 1st or prior to August 1st. But the 19th through the 21st of this month, we will officially get something from the NCAA on what becomes there of Pruitt. So we'll definitely keep our eyes documenting that situation. But a cool call topic right here, Bryce Young is starting his top 30 visits leading into the NFL draft taking place on April 25th to the 27th. Young, a top 5 pick, a top 3 pick, could be the number 1 overall pick, maybe the number 1 quarterback taken. But the first of his visits, he will go to the Las Vegas Raiders on Thursday. We'll meet up with Josh McDaniels, offensive-minded head coach, and the Raiders organization. The Raiders right now have a number 7 overall pick. I do not see Bryce falling to 7. I don't think it happened. No way. I mean, if the Raiders want Bryce, even though they got Jimmy Garoppolo here on an insurance policy, if you want Bryce, you might want to trade up from 7 on up, package together some picks, trade up. But if the Raiders do not trade up, there is no way that Bryce falls to the Raiders at number 7, even though you do have the offensive-minded head coach and Josh McDaniels. I personally see Bryce number 1 overall to Carolina, offensive coach in Frank Reich, warm weather down there in Carolina, very winnable division, the NFC South, very winnable division. So if I'm Frank Reich, it's a no-brainer. You take Bryce Young with the number 1 overall pick in Carolina. But the news came out today from Ian Rappaport of NFL Network that Bryce Young will start his top 30 visits in this NFL draft process with the Las Vegas Raiders. But we take our next break here, folks. We'll touch that down. When we get back, we discuss quarterback conversation at Alabama. Players are keeping this thing real close to the vest, but Ja'Cory Brooks kind of unveiled something today. We'll get into it after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
This is Matt Caddell, former Alabama wide receiver, and you're listening to In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith with Touchdown Alabama Magazine. And I got 2 words to say, baby. Roll Tide.
All right, folks, we're back in here, rocking and rolling into the action. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Continue hitting that like button, tapping that subscribe button, give us that thumbs up right there. Make this your show, your place for all things Alabama football. Continue to drop in those donations. Super Chat go $100. Daily Super Chat go $100 right there. But Eli, quarterback competition, battle, race, conversation, whatever adjective you want to throw in there, Coach Saban and the players really keeping this thing close to the vest, not unveiling too much, not talking too much. When you look at Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson, Saban always talks about, you got to win the team, you got to win the room, you got to do the little things right, you got to protect the ball. You got to do those things. So Saban never gives too much away. But now the players following in Saban's footsteps, not giving much away. And, reporters today were really peppering Ja'Cory Brooks and Darian Dalcourt to give more. I mean, the questions were, how is Ty Simpson looking? Just how is Ty Simpson looking? Waiting to see Will one of these two players unveil something? And great job in the Alabama PR department, as Ja'Cory Brooks and Darian Dalcourt didn't give a crumb. I mean, Ja'Cory Brooks basically said, hey, both quarterbacks are growing. Both quarterbacks are getting the job done. They're doing what they need to do out there. And the same thing was said from Darian Dalcourt about both guys. And you look at what both guys bring. We all know this. Jalen Milroe bringing the athleticism to the table, bringing improved passing mechanics to a table. He brings a full game of starting experience to the table against Texas A&M. Brings a half game of playing experience also with the matchup against Arkansas. Ty Simpson, what he brings very good arm talent to the table, brings deceptive athleticism, more quick than fast, brings a gamer's mentality. His father, Jason Simpson, a college coach. So you see what Ty brings to his quarterback room. But what's interesting here is Ja'Cory Brooks did open up a little bit. Not a whole lot, but just enough to have you go, interesting, okay. He talked about Milroe, and Milroe being a leader of the team. He's becoming a leader on the team. He's becoming a bit more of a vocal guy on the team, as well as a leader by example. Brooks mentioned how making strong reads in practice, going through reads, going through progressions, doing well there in practice. A good sign for Milroe, going through those reads, becoming that leader, growing into that full package quarterback, full package player. These are all good things here for Jalen Milroe. And even though Ja'Cory Brooks did not really give us who was the guy that threw the pass and the clip all around the world last week, where quarterback hooked up with Ja'Cory Brooks for the perfect touchdown pass, Kool-Aid McKinstry in coverage, we all kind of looked and saw for ourselves that guy looks a lot like Jalen Milroe throwing the ball right there. So even though Brooks didn't give us the ultimate, confirmation, Jalen Milroe on social media kind of gave us that himself. But Milroe becoming more of a leader, vocally as well as by example. Brooks stating how, hey, looking great in practice, going through reads, going through progressions. He's looking firm there. He's looking strong there. So it's interesting that you're seeing not just Coach Saban, but the players kind of really talking up every quarterback, keeping this sort of close to the vest here. And it's kind of what you expected. You're not trying to have a divided locker room. Of course not. You're not trying to have friction. You're not trying to have distraction. Saban is not one for distraction. So this is the best way to do this, and good to see the players keeping it this way right here. But definitely going to be fun to continue watching these two young men progress in the spring scrimmage. First scrimmage, which will be Friday, throughout spring ball, and most importantly, going into next season. But we take another break here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we return to those phone lines. People, light us up. We want to hear from you. Your thoughts, your conversations. What are you feeling? What's going through your mind as spring ball continues to flow? We'll talk to you after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, folks, we're rocking and rolling right here with you on a Wednesday hump day. Hottest show on the streets, talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got my man Eli Walker in the production studio. The King, John Ivory, enjoying his birthday on today. Continue hitting that like button. Tap that subscribe button also. Make this your space to talk Bama football. Guys, shout out Smokeman with that $10 donation. Helping us out right there. Appreciate the love there coming from Smokeman. Phone lines open here, 205-448-1358. Number to call in. Let your voice be heard, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you as you guys are getting your thoughts in. Eli, I have just one thing to say. If the New England Patriots, if you're going to trade Mac Jones, just do it. I'm tired of this. Like, Bill Belichick not committing to Mac. Robert Kraft wants to commit to Mac. There's frustration in the building. You got former players saying Mac is the guy. Like if you're not going to wrap your arms around Mac Jones, let him go to a team that's going to wrap their arms around him, for crying out loud. Before I get into that soapbox, we take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
This is Juwan Mahone from Fayetteville, Arkansas. How you doing, Stephen?
Doing great, and yourself?
Doing well today on this Wednesday.
That's awesome, man. What's on your mind?
I was just calling to chime in on this quarterback situation.
Go ahead.
Now, Jalen Milroe coming out of high school, man, he was a very highly regarded quarterback. Instead of everybody trying to down him for his passing ability, which he's clearly been working on the offseason, because one thing people don't realize is these kids, they hear what's being said about them just as well as the whole world hears it. So Jalen Milroe, he's clearly been working. He's getting better all the time. I truly believe Alabama's best shot to win a national championship this season is to have Jalen Milroe at quarterback, because the thing lately that gets you further is whenever this play breaks down, we've seen Bryce was good at eluding traffic until somebody got open. But now whenever the play breaks down, at any point in time, you can have Jalen Milroe take it off and take it all the way to the end zone, as well as the passing ability. You're not a bad passer and come into a game and throw 3 touchdowns against Texas A&M. That's in real SEC competition whenever it mattered. So we haven't seen Ty Simpson in a real game yet, but we know he's talented. We know he can throw the ball. But I just truly believe that Jalen Milroe is going to give the Tide their best chance to win a national championship this year. And regardless of who the quarterback is, you still have Jason McClellan, Roy Dale Williams, Jamarian Miller in your backfield. Those are good, solid running backs. And I feel like Alabama hasn't leaned on their running backs enough in these past few seasons. You go look at when Alabama's been most dominant. You can even go back to the first year with Bryce Young as a starter, which was a more efficient offense. People don't go back and look. Brian Robinson was a 1,200-yard rusher. So I think we need to establish things on the ground, and it will all work out in the end for Bama. So, and I'm also looking forward to see what Caleb Downs is going to do this season. If he ends up starting at that safety position, and there's a couple other young guys that I'm looking at, I want to see what kind of baller he's going to be, because we could be talking about one of the next best safeties to come through Alabama in a long time. Hey, I appreciate you taking the call, and I just want to hear what you guys got to say about it.
Appreciate you on there calling in from Arkansas. I agree with the standpoint of Bama's got to be balanced this season. But with Milroe, he got experience last year, and experience is the best teacher. People look at the turnovers against A&M, I get that, but he had 3 touchdown passes also. So he got that experience, and hey, he won the football game. You won the football game. And then prior to that, you come in against Arkansas, Bryce Young goes down with a shoulder injury, and what do you do in that game? Well, Jalen Milroe, 65 passing yards, 91 rushing yards, had a couple of touchdowns in that game. So he's got experience to draw from, and big experience, and important experience to draw from. And that's only going to help him get better. And I think bringing in Tommy Rees was huge for Milroe, because I look at last year, there were times it happened where, to me, it felt like Bill O'Brien was trying to make Milroe be Bryce Young. And you can't do that. He's a completely different style of quarterback. So you bring in a Tommy Rees that has an eye for developing whatever type of quarterback that's in that room, and now Milroe gets a clean slate. He gets a clean slate. I mean, he gets a chance to learn the tendencies of a new offensive coordinator, and a new offensive coordinator gets a chance to learn him. It's a clean slate for Jalen Milroe, which is exactly what he needed. So as long as Rees can have this thing work, Bama's got a shot to win this national championship. I think the offensive line's going to be nasty. I like the collection of running backs you got, led by Jace McClellan, wide receiver, tight end. That's going to be fun right there. Defensively, it looks like Kevin Steele has these guys rocking and rolling here. It's going to be very entertaining to look at and watch. But a nice call topic here, Eli, is Jalen Hurts in 3 years, 2 years as a starting quarterback. I mean, this guy took the Eagles to the Super Bowl last year, candidate for league MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Hurts came so close to winning the Super Bowl, outplayed Patrick Mahomes, should have won, but the Eagles defense couldn't stop Mahomes. Is closing in on getting a brand new contract, big money. But here's the thing about Jalen Hurts. His jersey has made its debut into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's only 3 years in, and his jersey has made a debut into the Pro Football Hall of Fame exhibit. What am I referring to? So, Jalen Hurts became the first quarterback in league history to rush for 10-plus touchdowns in back-to-back seasons. He recorded his 10th rushing touchdown in Philadelphia's game against the Giants last year, where it won 48-22. His jersey from that game, from that 10th rushing touchdown, is right now inside the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Wow. Jalen Hurts, young career, is giving everybody the business that doubted him in the 2020 draft process. Run, Jalen, run. Throw, Jalen, throw. Gone, Jalen, gone. Jalen Hurts doing his thing there. We take a break, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, discussion time. What should we expect in the first spring scrimmage of Alabama football coming up on Friday? I got some thoughts. I'll wrap it up after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, here we go. Rocking and rolling right here to the action. From the break, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA on a Wednesday hump day. Thanks to you guys for all the likes, all the super chats, all of the donations, all the phone calls, making this your show, your space, your spot here to talk Bama football. Got my man Eli Walker in the production studio, and we wrap things up with this discussion. You know, what should we expect in Alabama's first scrimmage of spring practice coming up here on Friday from Bryant-Denny? And I have my thoughts here, so I think the number one thing we should expect here, which players can play fast, can play disciplined, can play mistake-free, Which players know what they're doing and are executing what they're doing? I think that's the number one thing we can expect. Which players know what they're doing and are executing what they're doing to the highest level. And that's quarterbacks, that's all positions, period. I think the number two thing we need to expect is seeing the philosophy of Tommy Rees and Kevin Steele. When you talk about a spring scrimmage, Nick Saban is cutting the lights on. The coaches are not going to be all over the players. The players are going to be turned loose. So what's the philosophy of Tommy Rees? And then what's the philosophy of Kevin Steele? Seeing that kind of up front, up close, personal first scrimmage, that's something that we should expect. That's number two. Number three, in terms of what we could expect, which freshmen have turned some heads in this first scrimmage? There's always a freshman, Eli, that in a scrimmage you go, holy cow, where did he come from? There's always one of them. It's always one of them. And whether it's, Justice Haynes, whether it's, Caleb Downs, whether it's, as a JUCO, even though he's not a freshman, Malik Benson, whether it's Jaron Hamilton, Jalen Hale, Caden Proctor, somebody, there's got to be a freshman. One of these freshmen is going to turn some heads in this scrimmage, and we're going to all go, he needs to be on the field starting right now. So that's something that we need to expect. And I think last but not least, the physicality on both sides of the ball. Physicality on the offensive line, physicality on the defensive front. I don't think that's too much to ask. That should be expected. Physicality on the offensive front, getting a push, and a consistent push. Because that was one of the biggest questions about the offensive line last year. Jahmyr Gibbs could have been a 1,000-yard back, but he had to create his own hole. Why? You weren't getting a push half the time. So that's why you have to throw to him more than you ran with him. So, offensive line getting a consistent push every single step is important. And then the defensive line using your physicality to offset the offensive line. Getting penetration back there consistently to shut stuff up. So, that's to be expected. Now, can we see that? The ultimate chess match between Eric Wolford for the offensive line, along with Tommy Rees, and then Kevin Steele and Freddie Roach, with that defensive front is concerned. That's going to be fun to watch, right? That's just me there. Players playing fast, playing fundamental. Who knows what they're doing? That's number one. Number two, in terms of the philosophies of both coordinators, Tommy Rees, Kevin Steele, seeing that up close. That's something we can expect. Number three, which freshman blows our mind in the first scrimmage? It's bound to happen. But number four, just the physicality on both sides of the ball. I think all four of those things are to be expected. We know for a fact Nick Saban is not going to give us quarterback stats on Friday. I'm going to have to dig like the Holy Grail to find that. But at the end of the day, I think those four things I just listed there are things that we should expect in the first scrimmage. And if we can get those four things, happy day. Guys, shout out Ephraim Davis with that $20 donation to Super Chats. Appreciate it, Ephraim helping us out right there. Folks, as always, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store, your Rocket Team Apple, Google Play Store. You got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We got you covered there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll try to be back on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Remember, Tide fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link found in the description. If you're trying to get your hands on the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine, here's what you do. You go to touchdownalabama.com, you click join, become a member and or a subscriber today. That link found in the description as well. Guys, shout out you guys, the incredible fans of Bama football, for all the donations, all the super chats, all the likes, all the conversation. You making this your spot for Talk Bama football. Guys, shout out my man Eli Walker holding it down in the production studio. It's my man John Ivory enjoying his birthday on today. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored there. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man Stephen Smith, and you've been listening. They're my own words.